Okay, so we're going to try and keep this brief. I'm just trying to do some editing here. I don't know how to do this very well. You know, I got a lot of things to do, so it's not something I can spend a lot of time on. But today, you know, as I was making that video after I'd done it and I was going to, you know, do whatever, my daughter called me up at 10 to 12. Mom, go see Andre. I'm having a problem in the recovery house. I can't leave. Somebody's spazzing. Please go. I said, well, first of all, I didn't know you had an appointment by yourself today, you know, because your sister wanted to go with you. And as far as I knew, I thought it was canceled. But you realize it's 10 to 12 and, you know, you're only allowed 10 minutes late. So if I'm going to leave, I got to leave now. But they don't want to see me. So you need to phone them and let them know that I'm coming and that it's okay that I see Andre today. Like, just boom, out of the flash like that. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, you know, I'm going to go, right? Yeah, I'll call. Because they always say to her, if you give us permission, we'll allow it to happen. But that's just like when we went on December 6th to sign her up for the program to go for 3 months with the baby. You know, oh, don't worry about the dad. Don't, you know, we can do DNA tests. You know, he has to pay the $1,000 and you just sign this paper and sign. Don't worry about what you're signing. Just sign it and, you know, we'll get you in the program and you get to go with the baby and you make all the choices. You have custody. Just do as we say. Right? And in the meantime, they're pushing daycare and I'm like, well, if she finishes the program, she gets to come home, right? Because, you know, she needs to be at home because she can't live by herself, right? You know? And, you know, it's better for her to live with the family. She got a larger support system, right? She just got to learn not to take advantage of us, right? In terms of, here, take the baby and, you know, go off and do what she wants. Because that's when the counselor came in and I said, that's, you know, we need to get her to understand that she just needs to take, you know, not get comfortable with just, you know, here, I got to go because I can't cope or whatever it is, right? You know, she needs a break. We all need breaks. I need a break. So I said, okay, well, you make sure you phone, right, and let her know, right, because, you know, she won't let me go unless you give her permission, because this is what they're telling her. If you give us permission, we'll allow it to happen, even though we know now in court that she doesn't even have custody. So I don't know why they keep telling her this. I guess they figure because she's been doing drugs, it's just going to go in one ear and out the other, and it just buys them more time. Right? Because it's all about time with them right now. While they're transporting my grandson around in an unforeknown freaking vehicle with unforeknown people. We don't know who these people are. You know, I think they're switching the script. You know, there's, you know, why is he not in daycare having lunch and going down for a nap? Why do they have him coming in at noon? You know, for 2 hours to leave at 2. Right? You know, they wanted consistency, you know, they wanted, you know, a structure, they wanted, you know, a routine. Well, I was providing that. He was getting into a routine of going to daycare to see his little friends and, you know, he was going to bed earlier and he was quite happy. We know that story, right? So in the meantime, I jump in the car and I rush there. I get there right at noon on the dot, eh? And there's a Chinese woman sitting there. And I'm like breathing because I had to run. Right? Because I'm scared. They got me fucking running here. Hey? Paranoid for something I don't know what I did yet. But anyway, so I'm running to get to the office because I couldn't find parking and I had to park down the street, so I'm running. By the time I get in there, my heart's pounding like this, not only because I'm running, because of the fear factor of, oh my God, I'm around gods, you know, don't move. You know, don't move because you're around gods, you know. You're going to be punished. You must be fearful. You know, you're on trial and you've been convicted. And if you don't smarten up, you're going to, who knows what's going to happen to you. So between running to get to the office on time so that my daughter wouldn't be late and just the fear factor of it, because I know what they're doing, you know, I've only been talking about it for days now, right? And it's just, you know, they're getting really cocky with it. So I'm standing there and the lady says, oh, well, you know, what's the matter? And I'm like, oh, she's, oh, you're out of breath. And I said, well, yeah, because I'm having severe panic attacks. Like, I feel like crying. I just feel like purging with crying, you know, because these people are playing games. But of course, I can't tell her that part, right? I just said, I'm having panic attacks. I want to cry. You know, I didn't tell her the part about I ran to get there, you know. That didn't help. So, you know, social worker comes out. No, in the meantime, this Chinese woman, you know, she picks up these 2 little black babies, I guess, that were having a visit with their black parents. I guess, that's supposed to show me or Sierra, so the next time she comes back to me, she can tell me, oh, well, they had a Chinese lady pick up black children, so therefore they must not be racist. They didn't place my little, cute little almost white looking baby with an all white family, so they got to show, because they're watching my videos. They're paying attention. They're not stupid. Like I said, they have all the resources, with the Marax hat, They can't sit up there and say they never knew about my daughter's boyfriend's freaking long record that's 1,000,000 miles long before they said, no, the couple are in love. Let them move in together. It's important that they be a family. You got to learn to work with the boyfriend. It's your fault that you're not working with the boyfriend. Have him move in your house and, terrorize your family. And even though we already know what he's like because we lived with him for 1.5 years, almost 2 years prior to that, we didn't want him here. But it was important for them to stay together as a family. So I had to let him move in. Well, the same kind of situation. So I said, well, I'm here for the visit. The social worker come out. Sierra canceled. I said, excuse me? No, she just called me like 8 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. She called me at 10 to 12. It's 12 o'clock. Like, that's not possible. Yeah, she canceled. It's canceled. Go away, kind of thing. Nothing to talk about. And I said, well, what about that meeting? Oh, well, here. This, acting team leader or supervisor or whatever wants you to call her. So now I got to call the supervisor. And I said, all right, well, I thought you said that, she's allowed to give permission. Oh, well, I said, you realize what you're doing to my family, right? I mean, I had a moment to try and touch into the human part of that robot, because I wouldn't consider her to be very nurturing. So in the meantime, this Chinese woman, she's running out the door with 2 black babies. So by the time I walked out, she had a white van with all these kids in them. And I'm, another little kid was sitting in the van in a high, one of those seats, right? She ran in and pushed the little black babies in there. I seen a black woman run that way, so that maybe that was the mom, maybe not. I don't know, but it seemed kind of odd. It was Sierra's scheduled appointment to go in at noon. Right after she's been told that she has the right to say who shows up and who doesn't, but of course I'm not allowed, and they canceled out on my other daughter. Well, they're trying to perpetrate like, they're being, it's the rainbow of colors here. We've got the brown with the black and, but we just kind of keep the white to themselves, right? But we won't talk about that part again, because I'm pretty sure they're watching these videos just like they knew about my stepson there, and I wouldn't even consider him a stepson. He's being forced on me again to be a stepson, because they're in that relationship, and then, so that December 6th, they're like, oh, we won't factor in the dad, we're just dealing with you, and, and don't worry, he can take a DNA, it's going to cost him $1,000, just sign the paper. And that's another thing. My daughter here's something. My daughter insists that my grandson had a social insurance number because I want to open up a trust account for him. And it's best if I have a social insurance number for him. I keep all my, in this. Okay? And in this is all my papers, important stuff. Like, I got IDs for all my kids. Birth certificates, all that. Extra care cards, whatever. And I save it so they don't lose it, so if they need it. And as they get older, depending on who they are, they'll get it back, right? She gave me his to look after, and I had it with my papers. She's insisting that I had the social insurance number, that she had gotten that along with everything else, because social services helped her with that. But when I went into that daycare, that woman, but hurry, quick, sign. She wanted my daughters, like any child under the age of 19. She wanted birth certificates, social insurance numbers, care card numbers. I gave it to her for my younger daughter, 15, my 17-year-old daughter. Why daycare needs that information, I don't know. But in order to do the application, I had to give her that so she could photocopy it for social services because I was registering my grandson, okay? And she wanted what I had for my grandson, which I had with the rest of my important papers. I gave it to her. She ran off. So that's quite a bit of, that's quite a bit of cards and birth certificates, right? I got back birth certificates, and she gave me back the cards, all in one, all in one, right? While she's talking, to distract me. It's interesting that I can't find my grandson's social insurance number card. It's mysteriously gone missing. I have all my other cards because I just stuffed them back into my purse. Because the woman was talking and shuffling papers and just, trying to coat it and make it smooth. Don't worry, everything will be fine. We'll start them off, these hours is good. And yes, we don't mind if your daughter signs up. You realize she has to do a security check before she can actually become an official volunteer. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll pay the $20, whatever. I think it would be good for the kids. So I just want to make a mental note of that. Now I'm going to keep looking through my papers. But there's only so many places I keep those things, and it's usually in one place. And I was only asked to bring them out that one time. And when I was handed back the cards, they all came in at once. So if one was missing, I would not have noticed it, because it wasn't like I could sit there and go through each one, because she was too busy talking, distracting me. So my daughter phoned to say that I was allowed to see Andre today. I get to the office exactly at noon, okay, to be told that my daughter canceled it, and that I now need to phone another woman. What am I going to get? How hard is it to book an appointment with my family? This social worker met my dad. She did the security check on my dad. She met my son that goes to college. She did a security check on him. So why can't she meet with us now? Why do I have to go to the supervisor and argue with that woman because she has more authority to say, well, this is the way she was talking to me on the phone. She was rude. No wonder why the social worker didn't want to deal with her. Okay. That's another reason why I want a lawyer. Because the lawyer can book the appointment. And then at least this way, there's no, what happened? What happened to my grandson's social insurance number? Because I want to set up a trust account for him. I need that number.